All right. Hey, everybody. Uh, so I am Olivia Radcliffe, in case you don't know, founder of the Bluebell Group and creator of the Mom Boss Society. I help moms with businesses hit that six-figure mark without sleazy sales tactics. And I am here with Brittany. Brittany, I'll let you talk about yourself a bit.
Yeah, hi. So my name's Brittany Hardy. My company is called Empty Desk Solutions. We are a social media content marketing agency. So that's a fancy way of saying for our small business clients, we write, design, and publish their social media content or posts. I've been in business April will be year 9. So we're in year 8 right now. And we've always done for you services where we do those 3 things, right? Design and publish content, slowly moving to a membership model, subscription-based content to be able to help the business owners that aren't a fit, right, for the agency service. And I also have 4 kids at home. So that's a transition, looking for ways to scale without banging my head against a wall all the time, trying to service too many clients. So it's a different way to scale. And that's how I met Olivia. So obviously people watching don't know what our relationship is. So I think was it in the Female Entrepreneur Association? I think it was.
I think it was that. But oddly enough, we were both also in Tribe at the same time, but didn't know that until we met afterwards.
Yeah. So we somehow have ended up in different circles, even though I am on the west coast of Canada and you are not.
Yep. Nope. I'm in the US, in Ohio, and completely different time zones, different areas. But it seems like we kind of run some of the same tracks. So it's perfect. But yeah, like what you were saying about, scaling without banging your head against the wall sort of thing. That's, why I started a membership too, for the scaling aspect, but also, there were a lot of women I wanted to work with in my one-to-one capacity who just didn't have the funds, or they weren't in that place in their business to really be a good fit. And so I started my membership, the Mom Boss Society, to kind of reach a mom wherever she is on her business journey and kind of keep it more accessible for everybody. And I think so far, and you can tell me what you think with your membership, but I think it feels really, really good. The scaling aspect is great. It is much easier. It's really, really great to just have that content kind of ready to go and then spend the time interacting live with your audience instead of always trying to figure out what you're going to say next.
Yeah, it certainly makes the marketing aspect of my personal business easier. I mean, we've learned over 8 years kind of what works to attract agency level clients as well. However, it's always been really difficult. Oh, there's one of the, I probably have 3 or 4 of the kids wandering by in the background. Just it's always been tricky to align. I'm sure you talk about this a lot and how to narrow down your messaging specifically. When you're trying to target all the things and all the people, it's so difficult. So once I finally went, okay, we get agency clients by referral. We actually don't need to talk about that much anymore. Those just come organically when we showcase what we do. Now that we're able to just talk specifically about, here's a content membership. It's for you if you are, so much easier to market. It's easier to scale. It's easier to market. I get more time with my kids specifically, but friends and family. And I don't feel like I'm always chasing the next client. I'm sure you've felt like that with your business as well. It's you have this baseline of regular ongoing monthly clients, right? Which is good, security. But then I always had that feeling of oh, but what if 2 of the big clients cancel in 1 month? Then what? What do I do? Am I chasing, where am I digging for more people? It's just different with the membership because you always have, some level of growth, and then, you'll lose members, gain more, lose, but it's sort of still an upward trend, right? It's not I use that silly metaphor of banging your head against a wall, which doesn't sound very comfortable, but that can be what it feels like. It's this uphill battle, right?
Yeah. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs and mompreneurs specifically, but I think every entrepreneur understands that metaphor very, very well, of banging your head against the wall, because that's what a lot of this feels like. But I like what you said about just having that kind of recurring revenue, having that instead of chasing the clients, chasing down the customer, being scared someone's going to leave, because that feeling that you have, that fear of I need to make the sale, I need to get the clients, that's something that absolutely translates into your marketing, whether you really say that out loud or not. Your audience can feel that energy coming from you. And I've always found with myself and with my clients and the other women I work with that the more they're able to approach things from a position of trying to serve, of trying to love on their clients and just trying to be of help instead of that panicked, I have to make a sale, I need money right now. It's a very, very different feel in your marketing. And specifically with social media, especially. And so I know you get a ton of that, people having hardships with their own social media and stuff. So what specifically, how does your membership help people deal with that kind of thing?
There's more of the children.
Too. Okay.
The mom comfort, those are the oldest two. They'll be in and out. The younger two are outside with my husband because I said, you have instructions to keep the loud ones out of the house for 20 minutes.
Mine's downstairs playing right now too, for now.
But you know what? I love this so much because I really am passionate about making like this, what's happening in the background. Like this is real. Like it's not, there's been so long where I know we're off topic a little bit, but it's been so long where people have felt like they can't let the world know that even if they work at home, that there's like other humans that exist in their home. Like working with kids is not shameful. Like I want to show people like this is live. This is how I work. Yeah, they're in and out. Sometimes they're asking me for 100 things on a call. And I'm a mom. And you can. And I know this is what you're all about. Like you can have a business. You can be a mom. You can do all of the things however you choose to do them. Like it's not one or the other, right?
Exactly. I do. I firmly believe that women today don't have to choose between being a great mom and wife and partner and being a successful entrepreneur. I do think you can have it all. And I think that being forced to work from home, like so much of the world was here recently, did help open a lot of people's eyes to the fact that this stuff can be done. And it kind of normalized a little bit the working with kids around and everything.
The teenagers will fend for themselves with their food, at least. A little bit trickier with the younger ones. Exactly. Your question with the membership specifically. So, we've encountered so many people throughout the years who it's usually a budgetary constraint, right? That the agency level services.
Taking your coloring book?
Go ahead, take the coloring stuff. The agency level services don't work for them. Either they're too new in business or they're investing elsewhere with their marketing or systems or whatever. So I've always tried to figure out like, how can I help those people that aren't yet ready to really outsource it? Because they're the ones that need help the most. The ones that can afford to outsource it, they can hire someone in-house. It doesn't even really matter to them. So really what we tried to pull together, I thought, okay, how can I take our process, like what we do for the clients, the write, design, and the publish, the 3 steps, how can I make them easy enough and template it so that people can access those and use them sort of month over month? I wonder if the easiest way to be to share, like show a template. Okay, let's.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to hit share screen. Let's see what happens. StreamYard is new for me, so I might have to quickly update my preferences.
We'll figure it out. It's all good.
30 seconds. Okay, let's see. Permissions. Chrome.
Although you gave me a second to look at myself and be like, oh man, my hair's super frizzy. I wasn't looking at myself in the camera before. Now I'm like,
whatever. See if this is now. Are we looking at my screen?
Oh no, hold on. I think I can add it to the stream. Yeah, pull up what you want and then I'll add it here.
Okay, I'm gonna go to. I wonder if it'll let me share in one I have open over here. Hold on. Okay, I'm open on the window that I want to share. So let me know if it works.
Yay.
Okay, are you looking at the Personal Brand Edition Members Lounge?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. So when our members sign up for this is called the personal brand edition, so confident with content, they get access to the members lounge. And every month we give them, here's the social media calendar, their editorial calendar. And this is really just like a roadmap. So this is, you could definitely make one of these yourself, or you can leverage a template, someone who's put one together for you. There's also, you could search Pinterest 1 month content ideas, for example, and get lots of stuff. So you'll see, for example, Friday, the first was World Smile Day. So we tell people it's World Smile Day, maybe go post about that. But then we give them these 3 things. And this is how you can get your social content done a lot faster. So I'm going to open up the October. This is what we call our social media post document. Are you still able to see this, Olivia?
Yeah.
So the top, these are just instructions for members on how to use it, but it's very basic. So we tell them, here's the date that it's to be posted. This is a blank version of the post. And then this column here is, here's how it looks customized. And so what we do is I customize it for myself so that the members can see, okay, 3 things that make me smile, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, what did Brittany say? Oh, her kids, online shopping, and businesses grow. So they can put their own spin on this, but they get an idea of what it looks like when it's customized. And then we give them 2 more columns. The last one is an Instagram story idea or a Facebook story idea for those doing that. And then there's a little image preview. Now, they can upload whatever image they want with the status. So you'll see that as we scroll down. So behind the scenes, blank version, customized image. Goal setting, blank version, customized image. Sometimes they can be used copy and paste as is too. You don't have to change them. So for example, the little quote, when life gives you lemons, trade them for coffee. So someone, if they like that quote, they could copy it as is. So it's just a faster way than sitting there and going, okay, I have to write a month or a week of content. What am I going to do? So this is the roadmap and the post written. And then we give them either stock photos they can use as is, or for the Canva users, they click this little, and then it's super easy. So they can scroll through. So you'll see that one that was World Smile Day. Here's the template. So they could go, okay, that's not me. Let's grab, I don't know if I have, okay, whatever. Let's say they wanted whatever photo, they drag it in and they download that image and upload it to their social. So these are all their editable templates. And they might go, well, my color's not purple, it's pink or whatever.
That's so easy.
Yeah, and there's tons and tons of options available online if you were to look up, social media content templates. But find something that speaks to you. And anyway, this is just the transition of my business to be able to help other entrepreneurs, specifically mompreneurs, who just need a way to get this done a little faster and that maybe don't have, the resources or the budget yet to stop sharing. If that takes me back. Here we are. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So I thought I'd show that because sometimes it's hard to explain those 3 pieces. How we design and how we didn't cover publishing. That's a scheduling tool of your choice. Maybe that's for another day. But I just wanted to give everybody an idea for how they can maybe accomplish this task and some of your members might be like amazing. They have a handle on their social and they don't need help. But there's probably a lot of them, if they're starting off, that are like, oh my gosh, I do not know where to start with my social. So if they're a personal brand, something like that can help them. Or if they're, I don't know, like a lot of our clients are mortgage brokers. So if they search mortgage broker social content, they can find a lot of stuff. They just have to know where to look for it. So leverage templates that you can find. That's my biggest piece of advice.
No, that's great. I mean, so there's a couple of things I love about that. First off, yes, I think posting on social media is something that can get incredibly overwhelming for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially, we're so busy doing, everything. And it can get really, really daunting to try to figure out what we're supposed to post. And then it starts getting into, what's my marketing voice? I start to sound weird. What do I say? Do I normally sound like that? Or is that normally how I talk? And it can be something that's completely debilitating because I've worked with people who get on and they say they spent hours putting together one single post.
Yeah.
And then you have gurus out there who are telling you, well, you should post at least daily, like 5 times a day, 3, whatever it needs to be. And then it just feels completely defeating, which, by the way, I don't personally think you need to post 5 times a day or anything. I think you just need to be consistent with whatever you can do personally, not, I don't think there's a magic number there. But so having that content just there ready to go, and it is something that you can customize and make your own, make it sound like you have your own pictures. I think that's really, really amazing, at least for me. I mean, I get so overwhelmed and kind of not completely overwhelmed anymore, but there are so many moving pieces with being a mom and an entrepreneur and everything. And if I fall behind on my social media, which can happen more than I would like to admit here live, but it makes me feel I feel like a fraud because I'm teaching other women how to do their marketing, and I'm helping other women do it, and then I'm not doing it for myself. So having that kind of a template is really, really amazing.
And I've definitely been there myself, says the girl who owns a social media content. Like, there's been times I'm like, oh my gosh, like, now we haven't posted anything on our Facebook or Instagram for 2 weeks. Like, what the heck happened? And that's my fault as a business owner, not following up with, like, I do have a team that works for me. So that's me giving them all the client work and then not giving them clear instructions. Oh, by the way, keep up our social channels too. So what I do now with the membership is I sit down and we write, whether it's for ourselves or clients, we write everything in a monthly batch. I'm not suggesting that when people are starting off, they should do it in a monthly batch, because that might be overwhelming. Maybe weekly, or if they have something like what we have in the membership, then it would be easy for them. But if you're writing it from scratch, don't try and do a month. Try and do, like, maybe you're doing it for a week and that's 3 posts. Well, whatever that is, you're kind of setting yourself up for success by setting aside a specific time every week where you're going to write, do a little design and schedule it and have it done. But in any case, what I do now is I sit down. So right now, we've already released our October content. So let's pretend we're for November, about halfway through the month. So around November 15th, we're sitting down with the team. We're drafting out, okay, what are we going to give to our members October 15th, we'd be sitting down to give them November content. I'm so messed up with my day. I have to admit, my youngest is still nursing and I'm like a total zombie. So if there's any other moms like, do this and breastfeed and still function, the answer is sort of.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so October 15th, we would be sitting down to do our November content. So when I prep all the templates for the members, I'm going through, and because I had that column, how to customize, I'm physically writing my own content at the same time so that I can put it in that column, and I'm scheduling my whole month. So right now, but as of a week ago, everything for October for us for social is done. I don't touch it. That means all I have to do now is go and monitor for comments and messages. That's it. So
That's nice.
I just want to show people, like, there's a way to do that. And if you can get that done, I know people who have content done for 3 months in advance. And once you have a lot of stuff in your content bank or library, whatever you want to call it, you can start reusing it too. People often forget that. They spend time in this time next year in October, I could probably reuse almost every single post and no one's going to remember.
I worked with one lady who was breastfeeding and nursing and was just totally zonked out. It was like, I don't want to write anything. And so she just reused her entire content from like several months before. And it was her best sales month ever. I mean, no one really remembers too much. And even if they do kind of remember the content, I practically guarantee that everything you have to share is worth repeating. And it's definitely a point that needs to get driven home with people. So
it's often like we tell, our clients, if they're like, oh, but I don't want to reuse it, people have seen it, or they're going to think that I'm lazy. Well, they're not, first of all. Like we say, no one's going to remember. The odd person that does, is that your ideal client? Someone who's going to be like, I know she already used this. No, we tell people the easiest way to recycle it and have people not know, just change the image. Don't spend all the time rewriting everything. Maybe you have this lengthy blog post about I don't know, the top 5 ways to get more done in a day working with kids, whatever that is. And say you've already broken that down into little pieces and shared on your social. Well, how about this time upload a photo of yourself with your kids running around as the, main image that goes with the text? Because so many people skim on social. Like when you're on Instagram, for example, you're just going through. Sometimes it's mindless, and it's usually the photo, right, that's going to catch your attention and make you read. You're not generally looking at the text first, right? So anyway, just a little like recycling pro tip. Just change your image.
I think that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Just change your image.
Just change the image.
I think that can actually be used towards a lot of other things in life too. Just change your image. I think that might be my motto for the month. Just change your image.
Why not?
The other thing I wanted to mention, though, from a business owner's perspective, looking at what you've put together, it seems like how you have your business set up and how you're providing your content to your members is incredibly straightforward and such a simple change to make to be able to help so many other people just by adding that membership platform. And it's not like you went totally crazy developing this whole brand new platform that costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop and needs a team to run or anything. Like, it's something that I think if anyone watching is interested in starting a membership, it's definitely, I personally think it's a good addition to add to almost any business, especially for coaches and such. But
yeah, it doesn't have to be fancy. It's interesting you said that. I've spent, honestly, I don't even know how much I've spent, like more than I care to admit, building courses, recording courses, masterclass, whatever, all these little things. And I spend, and it's wasted time too. I research like a dozen systems. I'm going to look at Kajabi, and then I'm going to look at Thinkific, and then I'm going to look at Teachable, and setting up demos on, oh my gosh, it's crazy. And then before you know it, I've spent all this money on systems and time, and I don't even know if the thing's going to sell. And 9 times out of 10, spoiler alert, it doesn't, because you don't have the right. It's not because your course or what you're teaching isn't great. It's something is off in your messaging, or you just haven't gotten in front of the right people yet to kind of like give it that momentum. So when I sat down and created this, I knew, okay, what I have to offer has tremendous value, and I know it will help people because people have asked for this in a roundabout way. I haven't said, hey, can you give me a membership with these 3 things? But in a roundabout way, they've said, oh, gee, I really wish there was just copy and pastable content, right? So I'm thinking, how can I make that happen? And I didn't even make a fancy second site where you have to log in, nothing. It's literally a page on my website. It's not password protected at this point because until I have hundreds of members, who cares? It's when you sign up and pay, you get access to this. It's just a private page on my WordPress website, and that's where they go and access all their stuff. And then every week they get an email. Here's the post for this week. In case you didn't do it in a monthly batch, here you go. Here's 5. Use them. So it's really easy to digest for the members. It's easy to find everything, and it's not confusing because there's literally those 3 things. It was in, and now I'm not certain if it was in Tribe, which I know you took as well, as Stu McLaren's membership program, or if it was, I think it might have been a Female Entrepreneur Association in one of their master classes where they were talking about memberships, and they said that the number one reason that people canceled was because they were overwhelmed and there was too overwhelmed. So I've always thought of that because I've been in programs where I'm like, whoa, there's too many things coming at me. I feel like I'm missing out because I can't do it all. So I always kind of thought, well, let's just give them like exactly what they need and nothing more, because we don't want them to get lost in all of this other stuff. But, I've been in lots of programs too where it's like, oh my gosh, every day there's something live happening. And then if you miss it, we automatically feel like we're not getting our money's worth, which is not true, but that's what we think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the points I try to drive home hardest to the people I work with, because that is like one of the biggest common misconceptions is if I give more and more and more and more and more value, that it's better. It is making it more valuable. It's adding something. It's helping people more. But the reality is it just makes people get overwhelmed. And I'll ask the question of, if I could get you this result in 3 minutes versus 3 weeks, which one would you rather have? It's the same result. One takes longer. Which one would you rather have? And they're always like, well, 3 minutes, obviously. I'm like, yeah, we'll do that. Keep it really simple. Focus on the results. You're going to make the transformations you're going to help people get. And I do think it was Tribe and Female Entrepreneur Association also say the same thing, because it's very incredibly true. And I think the same thing goes for like your website design and everything. You know, people will get on a website, and if it's too busy and all this free content and all these different links and all these different ways to work with you, it can just get very, very overwhelming and feel cluttered.
Yeah.
People can just jump off and move on to something that's more simple.
Yeah. Well, we're just so overloaded in general, and overstimulated with all of the tech around us, and how many, you would know the stat probably better than me, but how many advertising messages were hit within a day. It's probably, what is it, like 1,000? It's so many.
More than that. Yeah.
And I don't even know, maybe it's 10,000, but it's so, think around you. And even when you go for a drive, how many billboards and logos and signs are you passing? Your brain doesn't even know what to focus on anymore. And then you're scrolling on your phone, and what's organic content, and who's paid to have this in front of me, and I don't know. It's just crazy. So I thought, how can I make this just mind-numbingly simple for people to just, here's your content. I'm not going to give you anything else. There's going to be a bonus training once a month, but it's still going to relate to your social. And if you don't watch it, doesn't matter. You're still going to get the value of your content. I'm just going to give you one extra little carrot, And I know you're right. It was in Tribe as well. But I think it was an interview I saw with Carrie Green when she was talking about memberships. And she said that the reason we add all of that content is only because we, the owner of the membership site, has this weird limiting belief that if we don't put all this stuff in there, that people are going to log in and be like, oh, this has no value, I'm going to cancel. So, and I found myself sinking into that a little bit before I launched. I thought, okay, so I'm going to send people this page, and there's only the September content. Then they're going to think well, did she not exist in July and August? Should I not have stuff, going backwards? And then I thought, well, why would I give them that anyways? They've only been paying since September. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, exactly. I launched my membership to just a group of founding members first, and I had nothing put together, no platform, no content, no nothing. And that was a concept that was really, really hard for me as a perfectionist who, early in my entrepreneur days, I wanted to have everything done and perfect before I presented it to the world, because of my own insecurities, right? Had nothing to do with the transformation I was helping other people make, had everything to do with how I wanted them to perceive me. But doing the founding member launch for my membership was just, I had all these women who wanted on board for this just idea. And it was really, really amazing. And then we were able to work together, and I would jump on and do Q&A sessions, nothing really planned. And it was just, but the transformation, the stories that I got from working with those women without putting anything together first was really, really eye-opening for me. And I felt incredibly insecure about not having anything for them. I talked to them on Facebook Messenger for the most part, and I thought they're going to think I'm so unprofessional. I don't have a membership page yet. I don't have a login for them. But the reality is they made progress a whole lot faster than someone who jumps on. And I think we've all been in those courses or programs where you jump on and it's info everywhere and you don't know where to start. And then you start to feel like you are missing out on stuff, and you get overwhelmed by trying to fit in watching all the trainings, and and then you don't make that progress as fast as you would if you just had one thing to focus on. You're providing just that one month of content. There you go. This is what you're focusing on right now.
Yeah. And what's really interesting when you do that, strategy with having your founding members is they end up you're coming to the table with an idea, and you might have it mapped out in your head too, but they end up shaping what your membership is going to be based on what they actually need and want. Well, what you need and want sometimes are two different things, right? But you can, combine those two things together. So when I launched, I knew I'm going to provide templated content of some sort, but that was it. And I just said, okay, here's what I'm thinking of doing. If you're interested, here's what it's going to cost a month. As a founding member, you can lock in for, X rate forever. And I had a lot of people like, I could totally use that. Yes. And I was upfront with them. Hey, by the way, it doesn't exist yet. So your membership will start today. It's going to take me a couple months to kind of put everything together. And they were okay with that. So it was definitely only my own belief thinking as well. Like, I have to have all of the stuff ready to go. And I didn't. So anyone who's out there watching, whether they're in your membership already or your Facebook group, like, you can totally hit the ground running. You don't have to have all of the pieces. We have similar backgrounds with marketing stuff. I have people come and they're like, oh, I can't actually start selling though, because like my website isn't done.
Yeah.
Like, so who cares? Talk about it on social. Have it. You can have an Instagram and sell off your, like, just go. Just start making that momentum. And my team always makes fun of me because I'll give them instructions and then they're like, okay, now what? And I always say, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. And they're like, well, we don't know all the steps. I'm like, you will figure that stuff out as you start doing things. There's going to be things that pop up in my membership that, maybe a page breaks or someone cancels and the systems aren't connected yet and I don't know how to kick them off the link. Like, there's always things that are going to come up, but you just figure it out as you go. You don't have to have all of your branding completely done. You just have to get out there and start telling people about what you are. Don't be your own best kept secret, right? Go for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that so much. Well, at that point, we've been going for half an hour now. I hear my son at the bottom of the stairs. Like, I hear him rattling the gate, like, Mama. But no, I think as we wrap up here, I think what you were saying about, well, everything you just said was actually, I don't even need to add to it. That was perfect. We'll just leave on that note. You had it perfect.
Well, it was really fun to jump on and have a conversation. Just so everybody knows watching, I sat like literally this morning. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I have this call scheduled with Olivia and I don't know what's she going to want me to teach people. And I'm just so glad we could just let it happen, have a conversation. This is, I think, what it's all about. Non-scripted, just mom bosses doing their thing.
Absolutely. I think everyone who's watching, I think it really helps to see a little bit of the behind the scenes. It doesn't have to be scripted. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't even really have to know what you're doing. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going, as Stu McLaren says all the time. Yes. But all right, on that note, we're going to jump off here. Brittany, if people want to get a hold of you or want to check out your membership or anything, where can they reach you? I'll make sure my team puts the notes in the comments and such.
They can, all of the stuff, whether it's our Done For You membership or you just want to book a free coffee chat with me, all of it is at emptydesksolutions.ca. It's all there.
Okay, perfect. I'll make sure that link's in there. And then if anyone wants to learn more, comment, message either Brittany or myself. We'll get back with you. And if you're not a member of my Facebook group yet, go to thebluebellgroup.com/Facebook, and there will be a ton of other trainings like this and a way to access a library of all of the trainings ever done that are going to be completely searchable, because again, we don't want to overwhelm you with information. We want to make it super easy for you to make progress. So, all right. Thanks for jumping on, Brittany. This is a blast. We'll talk soon.
Bye.